there's a new young punk rock band in LA, and as you can tell, they're really young, okay? And they did a fascinating song called "Racist Sexist Boys." Oh, tick, 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 until the right wing starts attacking 10-year-olds, okay? So let me tell you who's in the band. The band made up of Mila, who's 10, Eloise, 13, Lucia, 14, and Bella, 16, performed at the library as part of its Teen-tastic Tuesdays to celebrate Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So now, I think it's Mila that explains why they came up with this song.
A little while before we went into lockdown, a boy in my class came up to me and said that his dad told him to stay away from Chinese people. After I told him that I was Chinese, he backed away from me. Eloise and I wrote the song based on that experience.
So this is about him and all the other racist, sexist boys in this world.
Hold on, we're gonna give you this the badass song in a second, okay? But that was Mila, the 10-year-old, and she lived it. She lived it. That's in LA, and that happened to her, right? And I told you guys a story before about my son coming home and saying that he heard in school that the Chinese eat bats and rats, and that's what caused coronavirus, etc. Right? And my son's half Chinese, my wife's Chinese. So let's give you a little piece of the song before we react. Though, let's watch. All right, well, part of the reason I love that is because we're going to have over/under of 3 conservative politicians / pundits implode when they watch that video. Just all right, thoughts?
I love it. I was definitely a young punk rocker, riot girl. So I love this. I love that they're following in the legacy of like riot girls calling out sexism and racism through music. I'm just happy to see these girls doing this. Their song rocks. I was dancing to their music when you were showing it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not gonna lie. When the young one gave the speech to introduce the song to talk about her experience, I got emotional. And then I watched these girls perform this song, and the power and fearlessness, it's just amazing. I actually have 6 nieces myself. They're some of the most impressive people I've ever met in the world. And, there's so much nonsense that we sort of encounter on a day-to-day basis here in America. But to watch these young women and, they remind me of my niece and think to myself, wow, like we're raising a group of fearless young women who are gonna lead this country forward, man. And the song is jamming. It's going hard. I was head nodding when we just started playing that. I wanted to get in the mosh pit, Cenk, when I saw that damn clip.
Yeah, I know, they're great. Of course, conservatives won't understand what punk is, right? Punk rock. They're like, oh, these girls look like they're rebelling.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. And they're already hot, man. Tom Morello tweeted that. Apparently, they've got a small clip in the Netflix movie Moxie. So they're red hot. I'm bummed I missed that public library performance that they had. But look, to their point, again, my guess is that the right wing will take it personally, right? Oh yeah, look, they teach the kids to think that the boys are racist and sexist. No, she actually lived it. It's not that nobody taught her; it actually happened to her, right? And I think that what a lot of people who are not minorities don't understand is how often it happens. So, I told you the recent examples, and then you can go back to the old days. I have a friend who's South Asian, hence Indian, and when we were growing up in New Jersey in a different school that he went to before he moved to our town. The kids got around him at recess and started doing the Native American war chants. You imagine how humiliated you'd be if a bunch of kids circle around you and start chanting like that and making fun of you. Another person, Steve-O, who you've seen him on air here. Same story. Before he got to our town in New Jersey, he was in a different town. I think it was in Virginia, and he had a crush on a young white girl, and one of the guys I think in the school said something to the effect of, "Why would she ever go out with you? You're a..." And the whole class laughed. Ha 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 ha. So if you're white, you never experienced that. You might have experienced other things that are awful as being a kid. We get it, right? But you never experienced it. But don't discount the experience of folks who went through it, because it's no matter what the right wing tells you, it is actually real. And so here's some young girls who are taking out their frustrations in a super constructive way. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.